Do you remember the good old days when election campaigns involved parties and political leaders trying to look good and get re-elected? Those were the days. Enter stage left Rishi Sunak, who ducked out of the D-Day 80th anniversary in France early to do a TV interview. This was a move of such catastrophic misjudgment, you have to wonder whether the big man even wants to win. The bizarre sight was that image of David Cameron, posing alongside Emmanuel Macron, Olaf Scholz and Joe Biden. There he stood, a sort of pretend prime minister, Rishi Sunak's taller, chubbier stunt double, a political manifestation of the speedboat that you could have won on Bullseye. After a feisty performance from Sunak in the Leaders' TV debate with the hotly contested figure of £2,000 of extra taxes under Labour landing, the PM has now given himself even more work to do. Meanwhile, when asked on that TV debate whether he'd pay for a relative to go private if they were languishing on an NHS waiting list, Sir Keir Starmer quickly answered no. Starmer has been accused of placing ideology over empathy, whilst other commentators doubt his honesty. Would he really let a loved one die in order to maintain his commitment to the NHS? If so, then the next time one of his relatives gets a minor sniffle, they'd better get their affairs in order and write a will. The only winner of the TV debate for me was ITV presenter Julie Etchingham, who I think would make an excellent Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Lib Dems' Sir Ed Davey continues to paddleboard on lakes, cycle down wobbly streets and career down water slides on an inflatable. It's not clear whether he wants to win the election or just appear on the next series of I'm a Celebrity. A bumpy couple of days for the Greens as well. The party is investigating claims reported by the Times newspaper that nearly 20 of its election candidates have shared anti-Semitic material online. A timely reminder to this eco-group to forget about the Middle East and stick to electric bikes, wind farms and organic waste. They should swiftly recycle those alleged anti-Semites or leave them out for compost. A tough week for new Welsh First Minister Vaughan Gething. Is he going to be Wales's answer to Liz Truss as he loses a vote of confidence in the Senedd following allegations he took campaign donations from a company which has been convicted of pollution? Either way, the story stinks. Meanwhile, John Swinney's SNP are having to deal with Scotland's answer to Nigel Farage, Nigel Muck Farage, Alex Salmond himself, whose Alaba party is seeking to replace the SNP as the party that really wants independence. After all, do the SNP really still want independence, particularly after they've seen the books? They're starting to look like one of those Church of England archbishops that doesn't believe in God. Meanwhile, the aforementioned Nigel Farage returns to frontline politics as leader of Reform UK. The OnlyFans model who threw a milkshake at him has been arrested for assault. This kind of thing is an absolute disgrace. No public figure should fear for their safety when out campaigning. But her move demonstrates that this maverick politician is disliked by as many people as he is loved. So here we are, 2 weeks in, and the election has finally got interesting. Praise the Lord. Starmer has a lead to protect and will face more scrutiny in the days ahead, given that he is now, according to the pollsters, Prime Minister-elect. But you cannot rule out Rishi Sunak throwing one more roll of the dice. As Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War, once wrote, "Beware the enemy who has nothing to lose."